I'm here with the Texan himself, Linty Ant.
How's it going, Bagels?
You know, not too shabby. Hopefully the Drakes don't, sweep tonight for content purposes.
Honestly, I think it's going to be really close. It's going to be fun to watch because Drake's, although they're 6-1 within the Western Conference, it's Samurai is a mirror matchup. They are 6-1 in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, and both these teams are performing well again in Season 2 as the Samurai was able to come out with the Season 1 championship for Challenger last season, and Drake's was the runner-up, so once again they're performing super well in this second season as well.
And you always love a good rival. Um, hopefully these teams can make it back to the playoffs again this season and face it off against in the finals because they're both solid teams.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about them making it to playoffs this season. Honestly, the way they're playing, and I know Seabiscuit on the Drakes over there is quite the. He's got a little fire in him. We'll just say that, and rightly so because his team is very dominant. But like you mentioned, hopefully we can see Samurai put up a fight against him here.
So,
And
do you have any projections for tonight?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, I'll probably just go with Drake's, honestly, just the way that Seabiscuit's been performing lately in his team.
Yeah, I know Lancer as a former player in my org. I'd like to see him do well. He's playing tonight. That may not be the case.
All right, here we go. They're all ready, and we're going to get into this game one. Revert and Roots on the kickoff, going back to Seabiscuit in the corner. Up on this one, but Bunt's going to block him. Icon into the corner. I'm going to try and follow this, but no boost. Bunt kick hits it to the side. Icon trying to back pass the Biscuit. Big hit out. Bunt kick hitting it to his own corner. Seabiscuit back on the challenge again, but gets beat out. Roots sending this up the corner now. Trying to get it to the middle. Nobody there though, and Yikes is going to clear it. Icon with a lot of space. Passing over to Seabiscuit. But Roots is way too far back for the pass. He's going to have to retreat back to his own corner. And Bunt's taking it up, but that gets cleared out as well by Icon. And right now, Lindsay, it looks like all the pressure's by Drakes.
Yeah, the Drakes are doing a really good job about keeping the ball away from the Samurai players. And the Samurai players are kind of throwing the ball away from themselves as well. So just giving Drakes more time to keep possession, touch the ball to the orange half.
Yeah, this whole first minute, I think the ball has touched the blue side at least only twice. But as I say that, all three of the Drakes players were right next to each other, but they don't get punished for it quite yet. As Roots cuts off Biscuit, but it works out. As Seabiscuit gets past Bunt in the corner, off the backboard, but once again, nobody there. Drakes have had all this pressure, but that third man's been too far back for those passes off the backboard or just doesn't want to commit to the challenge, but it hasn't burned them yet as they've been able to stay dominating on this pressure. There's another one, but Icon misses it. Roots getting beat out by Revert. And Seabiscuit's finally going to get beat out, and it's just that one counterattack after 2 solid minutes of pressure.
All it took was for Samurai to finally get one beat on the defensive side where they got that dunk going into the offensive half. Great play from Reverse, and then he got that final touch just around the last defender for their first goal.
Yeah, and Drake's had pretty much all that pressure for the first 2 minutes almost, and they were only able to come up with one shot, and Samurai already has 2 shots, and they had like maybe 10 seconds on the blue half there. Seabiscuit up the wall now, sending it out. Roots up, but another miss in the midfield for Drakes. I'm expecting better things from them right now, honestly, as the past matchups I've seen of them, but another miss comes out from the orange team. Roots with a great 50 out. Icon getting beat out. He was nowhere near that ball. Biscuit's all by himself. Lots of space and lots of boost, but gets beat out by Revert again. Bunt on this one. Shot just off the post. Nobody there. And gets past Revert in the corner. This is going to be awkward for Bunt as he gets bumped off the ball. But being patient, flicks one. A double commit from the Drake's players, and it almost works. Icon up for this, and it's going to slip through.
A great finishing shot coming from Icon, but a good double tap off the back or from wrestling. He almost was able to score that.
Yeah, I think if you're Roots, you really want to hit that shot because Seabiscuit jumped up behind him and didn't trust Roots. And if Icon doesn't get a good hit on that ball, all three players were committed to that. And that could have easily been another counterattack goal for the Samurai. And that kind of seems what Samurai's plan is at the moment, whether intentional or not, as they've just been sitting back on defense and letting the Drakes come to them. But I don't know if they're going to be able to continue to play that way, as eventually Drakes might be able to slip one through again. As another shot comes off the crossbar, but Seabiscuit not able to handle that one. And what do you think about Samurai's playstyle here, Lindsay?
As of right now, I think it's more on the Drakes not getting good touches in front of the net. But as I'm saying that, it was a good bump play coming from reverse. He turned Seabiscuit around, and then Buncake, all he had to do was place it home.
Yeah, and I think that's a testament to the way the Drakes are playing right now. They have all this pressure, but they're not converting on their opportunities, and it's just that those one or two times that Samurai is able to get out of their half and get those counterattacks, and like you mentioned, it was a good bump on Seabiscuit, and nobody else was near the defense for them. Off the backboard, Icon's gonna put this one in, a great read from him.
Yeah, and Drakes, they're starting to do a good job of getting the ball high off the Samurai's backboard, and it looks like they're not ready for those touches. That's two passes off the backboard that have resulted in 2 goals.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard read for Buntkick to try and get that ball, but when you commit to that, you got to make the hit as the third man. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to, and the second goal for the Drakes comes in. Now Seabiscuit up for this. He's going to beat out Yikes, but a decent 50 comes out. We're just going to send this off the backboard. Bunt there again on the backboard this time, and he gets the hit this time around. Biscuit up, off the backboard again. Icon with the shot, and it's going to go in on the left post.
And that was a great angle shot coming from Icon, but a good beat coming from Seabiscuit as well. He just beat out that third man defender. The rotating man couldn't get back in time, probably didn't have enough boost, and great upper 90 shot.
Yeah, and Buntcake has consistently been that guy on the backboard these past few plays, and somebody should have tried to... The other two players need to follow up on the backboard as well, as the past minute or two, Drakes has just been pounding that ball off the backboard, and either only one person has been there or they're not ready for it. And that's how they've been getting scored on, is again, nobody's there in time.
And Icon, he's just being so speedy right now. You can see that touch right there. He placed it off the backboard. First challenger didn't get out there quick enough, got beat on the 50, and Icon was just ready for the ball to come back to.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's been down to Buntcake to make these touches on defense, and on that one, he was just too slow. It's an awkward ball coming on the net, but Icon handles it and takes it away. Revert sends it too far to the side, and Biscuit's going to take it up the wall. A big clear out. Roots up for the shot, but not able to get there. And now around 15 seconds left, and Samurai aren't really going to be able to do anything here if this pressure stays up. And Biscuit with a clutch bump is not going to allow that clear to come out. And that's going to do it for the Samurai in this game one, as Drakes are able to come back and take this game one.
Yeah, and I think that what Samurai are going to have to do is they're going to have to get somebody up on that backboard to challenge all those high ball hits as soon as they happen. Because you can't let another team or the other team punish you by hitting the ball high. It burns your boost too quick, and then places everybody in an awkward situation for challenges.
Yeah, and the first 2.5 minutes, Samurai was able to get away with that backboard because the Drakes were playing a little too passive as that third man. Maybe they were just kind of feeling it out in that game one, but either way, they weren't there for the hits, and Samurai was able to get those 2 goals because of it. But the second half of the game, Drakes really stepped up the pressure and was willing to commit the third man and make sort of a risky challenge. And it worked out for him.
And Icon really stepped up. You saw him beating beating Samurai a lot on a lot of those touches. and then he would come back through after his teammate got a good 50, and he would just dunk it over the top of somebody.
And unfortunately for Samurai in that game one, it seemed like Yikes wasn't even on the field that whole 5 minutes. He only came up with 24 points. And not that points are the biggest thing, but I mean, I could definitely see it felt like Buncake and Reaver were the ones making the plays for Samurai. And he needs to get a little bit more involved if they're going to try and win this game too.
Yeah, and maybe since he's not being participating very well on the ball, he could probably try doing stuff off the ball. Probably take out that second and third defender or second and third offensive player and give space for his teammates.
Yeah, they did get a bump for their second goal, and maybe that's what they need to do against a good team like Drake's, as they have been prone of leaving their third man back. Buncake on this one, pinching it way off to the left. Reavert's going to be up. Another 50 off the backboard. Seabiscuit's there, though. All the way back to Buncake, and he's going to have to send this up his own wall. Not able to get another one, though, as Roots comes with a shot on, but way off target. Reavert in his own corner again. Getting beat out again. They're just not getting these key 50s in their corners. As finally Reavert's able to send this one out, but once again, Roots is there. They need to find a way to get this across the field. So Icon's up for this one. Getting beat out by Reavert this time. Finally, they're able to get some space here. Flick comes out, but not quite high enough. Yikes on the ball here, trying to follow it up, but gets beat hard out to the other side. Buncake alone by himself gets beat out again. Roots up for this one. He has a shot opportunity. Great save by Reavert off the backboard. Seabiscuit up again for this one. Another hit. And Lindsay, the same thing's kind of happening in the first 2 minutes of this game too. Samurai's been caught on defense this whole time.
And that has to do, I think, with them playing a bit too passively. They are doing a better job at keeping the ball off the back, but they're not getting out to the ball quick enough. They're not getting the boost in their hands, and they're just having a hard time getting out to the field, taking control of the ball.
Yeah, you mentioned that backboard again. As a shot comes in, and finally the counterattack is able to come out again for Samurai.
And that was all off another bump. Reverts. He took out that first challenger. The third man was too far in that backside corner, and it just gave Yikes all the time in the world to take a shot on net.
Yeah, he kind of boxed out that first guy, and then I think he actually got a better bump on the second guy, and that was enough to get the goal to come in. As Reaver with another great save comes in, and oh, I thought he had it.
Oh, that was so close. A good first touch from Biscuit. He placed it behind Reverse. He couldn't get quite the touch to get it outside the net. And then Yikes, he jumped up and he was in a good spot to get that save. But, you know, Roots, he just placed it right around him, and it just happened to glance off the net.
Yeah, and I was just about to say their backboard defense was definitely better, as you could see that the Samurai has been in the right spots on defense this time, but right there was just too much pressure for them to handle. As Buncake, all the players are next to each other on this one. Reaver with the backflip, but Yikes bails him out. Another hit from Yikes is sending it out. He just keeps hitting this ball and nobody's that rare for it. Seabiscuit finally gets it, but Buncake with a great 50 off the ceiling. Icon on the dribble. Tries to do a little too much and sends it off the post. Roots again off the post. He kind of had an open shot there, as Reavert has no boost and Buncake's going to take it away from him. But he kind of gives it away. Off the corner though, however. Yikes completely missing the ball. Roots with the shot, but goes off the backboard. And nobody there again for Drakes. Icon sends it up there again, but Reavert's there. Yikes trying to dribble it out, but gets hard beat again. A double commit coming out for Drakes, and that's going to leave Roots back. Reavert gets the boost steal instead of the ball. He could have maybe centered that there, but he's on the ball again here. Icon whiffs again. Seabiscuit into his own corner. Yikes up, off the backboard. Good opportunity for Buncake, but getting saved out by Roots. Buncake turning on this one, passing it to the middle. A double commit comes out, and no shot on target. Reavert getting hard beat, and it's a 3v1 with Buncake back. And he doesn't make the touch, but Roots can't make the shot either. And he's flailing around in front of the net. As a shot almost able to go in, and it's complete chaos here for Samurai.
Yeah, Samurai, they just have so much pressure, or Samurai doesn't have a lot of good pressure relief coming from defense. Drake's has so much pressure on offense, but they're not finishing their shots. Samurai's getting a lot of these clears just away from the offense, and whenever the ball turns around is when you see that the Drakes start to struggle because their defense is a little bit too far forward, and Samurai can get some good finishes, and that's mainly why we're seeing such an even.
Yeah, and on that last play, that last scoring opportunity, it was Bunt Cake back, who's been a little inconsistent on the defense, and you think with the 3v1 they would try and play a little bit more aggressive, as the shot just couldn't come through for Roots. But Roots again on this ball here, getting hard beat out. No touch is going to come out from Samurai, but they keep it up. This is a big clear out. This could be dangerous, but nobody there, and that's going to hit the floor. Now going into overtime for this game too. Let's see if Samurai can try and get another counterattack goal the way they're playing, or if they can keep the pressure up. So shot rings off the crossbar again. Drakes just need to find that consistency on their accuracy, as they've hit the backboard time and time again, or the post. Revert on this one, sending it out, but not quite far enough. But Yikes with a good 50. But Samurai unwilling to commit that third man, as I'm not sure if there was a rule one in the corner, but either way, the players got bumped off. Buncake in his own corner again. Not the greatest clear out, but he's going to follow it up, and it's not on. That was their opportunity right there. But the pressure continues for Samurai. Seabiscuit awkward, but makes the touch he needs. Back pass to Bunt, but it's not a good one. Bunt able to get it away, though. Yikes up the wall, getting beat out by Seabiscuit. And what do you think the Samurai have to do here, Linty, to try and stop this Drake's pressure as two demos come out? Oh my goodness!
I was gonna give some input, but I didn't have enough time. It just as soon as you say that, a double demo icon, he's really shining this series. And then Seabiscuit, an amazing dunk on the defense, just gets it right into the net on the upper 90.
Yeah, perhaps the short answer was nothing. They could do nothing as two demos came out, and he just comes out with the dunk 50 as the last man back was. He probably just couldn't do anything. He couldn't see, and it was just an awkward situation as double demos don't happen very often. And you know, if the Drakes can't hit their shots, then why not take out both players and get a goal that way?
Yeah, I mean, if you get the goal, it works, and that's the best way to win is just to do what you need to do to win, or to score goals. But like, I know back to your original question about what they need to do to get out of like those pressure situations. I think they need to be less predictable on where they're hitting the ball and their players. They probably need to win a few more 50s in their favor because that's typically when they do the best work on their offense. And then they also need to control the boost more. I know Drakes are doing a really good job about keeping the boost away from them, making it awkward. But Samurai, they need to get the ball away from the defense as well because they're just allowing Drakes to apply so much pressure to them.
Yeah, and I've seen the Samurai a few times passing on defense to try and get the ball out, but once they're on offense, there's no passes in the box or no like clear infield passes for the Samurai. It's kind of all just been solo plays or bump plays to try and get these goals in. And they had a lot more offense that game. They were tied in shots with the Drakes at 8 apiece. They definitely had more pressure than that first game, but I just don't know if the counterattack play style is going to work against the Drakes here, as more often than not, Drakes are able to come up with the saves on defense.
Yeah, and the Drakes, like, they get into that rhythm. Like, they'll kind of lullaby Samurai's defense for a while. They'll make it not threatening, and then you'll see a really good pass off the back, or you'll see that double demo that kind of places that third man in a really awkward spot where he wasn't ready for such, like, having to play such a situation.
Yeah, and I say Drakes. I hope they don't sweep again, but here they are again in another sweep situation, as now Samurai are going to find themselves trying to attempt the reverse sweep to try and come up with a win here.
Yeah, Drakes are such a solid team that you got Icon at the front, and you got Seabiscuit, Roots behind, who are both doing exactly what they need to set Icon up and play a good team rotation.
And the way Samurai are playing right now, they look shaky as Revert's kind of getting confused about what to do with the ball here. But what I was going to say was, for a 6-1 team, I feel like they should look a little bit better than they are right now. This is the first time the Drakes and the Samurai are playing, but I would expect maybe they're just having an off day or something, or the Drakes are just that good. But either way, they need to find something here.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite ready for Icon. It looks like Icon's the main one I see applying the most pressure, and like right there, he was just ready to take that shot as soon as it was cleared away off that back.
Yeah, I see you've taken the ad from my crystal ball prediction service. As soon as you talk about it, Icon scores. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely been the guy to try and make that play. I feel like as much talk as Seabiscuit has, he's kind of been a little absent in this series, as Icon and Roots have been those two guys on offense. But the way they're playing, they're not going to need Seabiscuit to be hitting these shots, as they've been dominating these first two games for the most part. Icon up again on this one. A lot of boost to work with. Revert last back, doesn't get a good touch. Able to get another one though, as the net was open if it got by him. Yikes hitting the ball straight back to Icon. He had a lot of space to work with. Another poor touch from Revert on defense, and this is going to be awkward, as Bunt's able to get it out. And Drake's a little awkward here, not willing to commit. Perhaps some miscommunication there, as a triple commit comes out. The save able to get there by Roots though, and another double commit between Icon and Seabiscuit. This might be Samurai's only chance to try and convert in this game. As Yikes sending it back out to the middle. Revert up again for this one, another double commit. Net opens, and he's barely able to pinch it off the corner. Yikes finally getting involved.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on in the Drake's comms. There were so many double and triple commits within that last series that we just witnessed. And Samurai, they took advantage of it. They kept it high in the box. They kept making them jump together. They kept getting good 50s. And Drakes, they just didn't know what to do and where to get the ball.
Yeah, and you would think after one triple commit, it wouldn't happen again within 5 seconds, but I think they triple committed twice and then doubled another 2 times, so something was wrong for them there. Let's see if they can keep it up. Maybe it was just a few mistakes coming out there. But either way, Samurai are starting to look better from the game 2 onward. They weren't able to pull it out in game 2, but starting to kind of put those chances together. As Bunt kicks on this one, sending it out to Roots. Another demo comes out, but able to get the clear. Seabiscuit on this one again, and it just looks like Seabiscuit is the one who hasn't been performing again. Already 3 minutes into this one, he only has 46 points. And I feel like the way Samurai is starting to come back, they might need Seabiscuit to get involved here. As an awkward touch comes out, but the man himself is able to bail him out. As Bunt's last back, but nobody there for the Drakes. But Bunt getting beat out by Roots again. Revert's going to take this up his own wall. Beating out Biscuit and getting the demo. Yikes, could have gotten a better hit there, but a miss comes out from Icon, and it's going to be enough.
You know, Yikes, he saw the opportunity. He saw that Icon was a little bit awkward. He hit a really hard ball off the back wall, and Icon, I don't think he was expecting it. I think he believed Yikes was going to take a dribble play. And Samurai, he should be expecting them to throw the ball away, because that's pretty much how they played the game today. But it ended up working out, and Yikes had a great solo play finish.
That was almost a great play from Bunt, whipping it off the corner and almost getting the double. Double commit came out for them, as now they're awkward on defense. Roots having a lot of space here, but gets pinched out by Yikes, and the net's somewhat open, but Icon's able to beat out that first man. Bunt sending it over, Roots with a big clear out. Revert there. 4 touch to Icon again though. Awkward hit from Roots, he's gonna have to send this back out to Biscuit. And another great 50. Samurai are starting to look more dominant in this game 3.
And I believe that is more on Drake's just not playing the same game they have been. They've had more mistakes and more double commits coming out. They've burned a lot of boost trying to dive on the same ball and trying to like rotate back to get another third man in position. It's just giving Samurai the space to work upfield.
And you mentioned that boost right there, and Icon just wasted all 100, just barely getting it out to the halfway line. But it might be enough, as the ball almost goes in, but nobody there for the 50. Seabiscuit in the middle, sending it back over to Icon. Bunt with a great hit to the corner. That's what they needed from him. As the shot goes in anyway off the corner, a bump comes out in the net.
I know you were talking about Seabiscuit not really doing as much as you would like, but look at this pass. Straight back out to the midfield. Really hard for the defense to read unless they're already moving in that direction. And then a great finish coming from Roots to place on that backside post.
Yeah, it was a hard, quick pass from the corner, but the problem for Samurai is that they had two players in the same exact spot in net. And the player that bumped them was able to get both of them. Nobody there for Samurai though. As Icon's able to send this up. Roots on this one, but it's going to touch the floor. And yeah, Samurai were starting to kind of back off there. Or like you mentioned earlier, the Drakes have been making more mistakes in this game 3, and maybe something in the comms has changed, as there have been less double commits for them in the past 2 minutes or so.
And Samurai, they really need to get better about controlling the ball. You've been watching, a lot of their game plan has not been, they don't take any dribbles. They just try to play it back into the other team and let them make mistakes. And Drakes have been making mistakes this game, and that's why it's been so close.
Yeah, there it was right there. You said they weren't taking dribbles, and Bunt tried to, he kind of had a dribble opportunity, but it doesn't matter as Reavert is able to get the goal as a backflip comes in the net.
And it's such an awkward touch coming from Icon. He probably should have told the defender in net go for the ball, but as soon as he touched it out to the midfield, he kind of left the third man hanging, and then a great finish coming out from Samurai.
Yeah, well, even though it came off a mistake, either way, Drake's finally, as far as I know, losing a game on stream. I think every game they've been on stream has been a sweep, so even though it was off a mistake, maybe Samurai, they were starting to look a little bit better in that game 3. Maybe they can build a little bit momentum off that, but if Drake's continue to have these communication issues that kind of plagued them that first half of the game, Samurai might be able to pull off this reverse sweep.
And Samurai really start to apply a lot of pressure as soon as they start keeping the ball close. You just see that they toss the ball back to Drakes a lot. And like you mentioned at the end, they started to dribble it up the sidewall. They got two people kind of in an awkward spot. Icon went up the back wall. It got pinched to him. And that's where his awkward touch went back out to the field and allowed for that last shot.
I think they want you to ready up, Lindsay.
We'll get
But
there
yeah,
when we get there.
but yeah, no, absolutely. And uh-oh. Oh, I thought the server did die for a second.
It always does this.
Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there after he called you out, but yeah, no, he was trying to dribble it, but then he kind of went for the pinch on the sidewall. But like you mentioned, they're kind of not doing much with the ball. The Samurai are when they're coming out of defense. It's a lot of just one player trying to get the ball onto the Drake side, and while Drakes are passing a lot to get it out, they may not be successful all the time, but they are trying to use all of the players in the rotation. Whereas Samurai, it's kind of been a one man up front and two men back. I think they need to play a little bit more of an aggressive play style if they're going to keep this up against the Drakes.
Yeah, really try to get the ball to that second man or get the second man much closer to the original challenge so he can be there whenever first man either gets beat or the ball is placed in a favorable position for a shot.
Yeah, and it maybe it's just them being tentative and a little nervous moving up the field, or it could be a communication issue. Maybe just nobody knows who to pass to because they're not telling each other where they are. Or maybe just the plays haven't worked out for them. Either way, Root's able to send it top shelf.
And Icon, he just beats out the defense again. They kind of all rotated to the back wall thinking the ball was either going to go up or around the corner. Instead, he threw it straight back into the midfield, straight back over the top of himself, and nobody was there to challenge. And then a great shot placement coming off Roots.
Yeah, and it could have been that communication plaguing them right there. I think somebody, I don't know if it was Yikes on the ball trying to take it up the wall and hit it into the corner, but somebody should have called him off as they had an easier angle on that, as two people were in net, and they kind of just let him try to take it up the wall, and they were both left flat-footed in the net as the hard shot came in. Yikes on this one, almost able to slip it in. Revert with the boost steal, sending it past one. Buncake kind of gets bumped out by Revert as a double commit comes out, almost able to slip it in the left side. Yikes trying to get it back out to Bunt. And he sends it hard off the backboard. Nobody ready for this as another double commit comes out for the Drakes. Samurai might be able to start putting on this pressure again, but a pass comes out. Bunt sending it back. Yikes getting bumped off the ball. Couldn't quite get the shot now. Ooh, good fake coming from Bunt. Oh, he tries to slow play it again. He might have just been better off banging it after those first two fakes came out. Icon trying to get the bump, and he does, but not quite in time. And sorry, Linty, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, he had such a great fake, but he also got play. So that was where all of his, he was gonna hit the ball, and he just got stalled right underneath it, so he couldn't jump.
Yeah, and a lot of the times when you go for those fakes, you kind of fake yourself out, as sometimes you don't expect it to work or be that effective. And like you mentioned, it does slow yourself down sometimes. And when the third man is that speedy, you need to be a little faster to try and put it in. But either way, Yikes, there was another double commit that came out in the midfield, and Yikes was able to put it to the left side.
Sorry about that. I had a bit of a issue with the server. I disconnected, so I didn't have much I could say.
Lindsay with the classic Texan internet. But did you see the shot or no?
I didn't see it.
Okay. Yikes put it to the left side. But now Samurai on this one again. A great opportunity for Reverb. He gets blocked out by Roots. Roots again with another clear. Bunt up for this one. Not getting the best hit as Seabiscuit's going to send this out. Revert up again. Roots sending it off the wall. Icon's going to send this past one. Trying to go for the bump, but Bunt kind of fakes him out. Back to the middle, but kind of dangerous. As the shot rings off the crossbar again. Revert chasing this one down, but he has no boost. All the Drakes players right next to each other. As Bunt's going to have a free ball. Getting a double hit, but not quite where he wanted. Icon taking too much time as Revert 50s him. A shot barely makes it in from Seabiscuit, not able to get there.
Yeah, Icon tried to take too much time. He needed to get that ball away from the midfield, either the opposite side corner or the same side corner, and just not allow for that dribble for him to get dunked. And then Yikes, he read the ball all the way and placed it under the last second goal.
Yeah, and Yikes was kind of adopting what I was trying to say earlier on, where they need to be more aggressive with that second man, and he really dove on that ball and kind of pre-flipped into it. He didn't get the best hit, but the way the Samurai have been playing, the Drakes kind of probably weren't expecting that, which is probably why Seabiscuit was caught off guard. Now a ball pinching off to the side, and Yikes isn't able to get there as Drakes counterattack a few seconds later.
And that's highly unfortunate. Buntcake, he was in the opposing corner, stealing the boost. Ball came right back to him, so he thought he could challenge, but he hit the low side of the ball and got dunked, which allowed for that full court shot.
And off the kickoff, Bunt able to make it there though. But yeah, sometimes you want to keep touching the ball and you want to make productive hits, but sometimes when you're in that situation, you kind of need to know, you need to figure out when the play is dead, because he could have just fake challenged and have them send it back to the defense for an easy clear. But instead it pinches off his hood and nobody was able to get there. And now that they're starting to play more aggressive, maybe they need to, Bunt kind of needs to tone it down a tiny bit.
I do like the aggressiveness from Samurai. I think they need to keep it up if they're going to keep it. Because they can't allow Drakes to get on the foot. They definitely will start pulling away like they have, or like they did in the first two.
Yeah, definitely. Drakes have definitely looked more vulnerable since the Samurai have stepped up in these past two games. It was an unfortunate goal from them there, but they still look like the more dominant one in this matchup. 0 seconds left, but Yikes gets bumped off the ball. He's not able to come up with that one. Now overtime into game 4. I believe the second overtime of the series. And let's see if Samurai can pull this one off. Pass to the middle, Icon there. Great save from Revert again. It seems like time and time again, Revert's been that guy to make those saves. Him and Bunt kind of holding it down on defense. Back out to Yikes. He's going to get beat out by Biscuit, though. No, he's not. Gets a hit right into him. Root sending it off the wall. Yikes there again. He's going to try and clear this out. Icon with the miss, but Yikes kind of gives it away. Seabiscuit tried to pass it to Icon, but it wasn't a strong enough hit. Revert sending it off the side. Up again. Great hit from him. Icon with kind of an awkward touch off his backboard, but nobody there for Samurai. They needed to keep this aggressive playstyle up. Maybe they just didn't have the boost. Revert on this one again, sending it out. Seabiscuit into his own corner, waiting for Icon to take it. He does. Back out to Biscuit, but kind of gives the possession away. But Revert cuts off Bunt. But once again, time and time again, I've seen Bunt get these great 50s in the air as Icon missed that shot. Another one coming in for Roots, and that one's going to sneak in. Where was the defense?
I don't know. I think they may have been missing boost, but Reverts, he power slid turned around the wrong direction as Icon banged it to the right-hand side of the field. And, Roots, he was sitting there and nobody challenged. And then he had a great banger shot on the open part of the net since nobody was challenging.
Yeah, it was Revert who drove in front of Yikes, I believe. And he kind of just drove in front of him, and Yikes was expecting him to make the challenge. But then Revert U-turns up the side wall, or the back wall. And that's what allowed that shot to go through, as that situation should never happen, as all three are in net. It was a good shot. It was a fast shot, but I mean, when all three of them are like that, somebody's got a challenge.
Yeah, and when you don't challenge on those, the other team's most likely going to score. Players at this level, they're so good about shot placement and hitting the ball hard that unless you already know where the ball's going and you're already turning the right direction, you're probably not going to be able to get to it from that distance.
Yeah, and Roots was the guy to put that final one in, and in that game 4, he had 3 goals and 5 shots, and definitely he seemed like the offensive presence for the Drakes here, with kind of Icon and support. As Seabiscuit maybe was kind of just having a slightly off day, but he was able to make some touches on defense. But the Drakes weren't able to get the sweep, and they were kind of starting to falter there towards the end, but able to pull out the 3-1 victory.
Yeah, and Samurai, they could definitely pull that out, but I do believe they gave too much to Drakes. Drakes, they're a good team. They play well around each other. Icon, he really stood out to me throughout this series. Roots had some really good shots, and Seabiscuit as a third man who was fairly reliable throughout the series. Just when you give them the ball and allow for them to play the offensive side of the ball, they're definitely going to pull out more games. Are going to lose them.
Yeah, now Drake's moving to 7-1, while Samurai, I say fall, but they fall to 6-2, still a good record. But now Drake's, the way they're playing and the way their record is, they're kind of looking to take that 1 seed, as the only person who's close was Samurai, and they just got beat out by them, and they don't play for another week or two, so they might be able to lock that division down.
Hopefully we see more of these teams on stream, and maybe when they come back and play each other again, we recast their second series, because both those teams, they could take the win.
Yeah,
And
and
it just depends on the
ahead.
night.
Yeah, definitely. And well, that was our matchup for the Challenger League, and our third match of the night is going to be in the Prospect League with Vipers versus Velocity. We'll catch you guys after the break.